Hi everyone and welcome back to What the Health. I wanted to make today's video in the really relaxed setting of my bedroom because we're going to be talking about stress and how it can affect your diet and your healthy lifestyle and the way that you eat and the way you think about food and what you have time for and your priorities when it comes to health and what you put into your body to fuel it. I find that with stress, I tend to either eat much more and far less healthy options, or I don't actually eat that much at all. I'm definitely under calories, and a lot of people find that they're one or the other, but I think I'm both. And I find if I'm busy and stressed and totally sort of overwhelmed, I will go one way or the other, and there's almost no way of telling which way I'm going to go. I usually find that if I'm sort of stressed in the short term, I'm very much more likely to sort of eat little tiny bits of food and prioritise my work over what I'm eating. If I'm sort of more long-term stressed, so for example when I was at university and I had a very stressful few months ahead of me, I used to eat really sort of high fat, high calorie food almost as comfort. So there's two ways of me dealing with this, and I'm sure a lot of you feel exactly the same. So what I wanted to do was just give you 3 tips that I sort of try to think of to make sure that I don't do any kind of extreme thing when I'm stressed in terms of my diet. The first tip is to remember that your health is a priority. It can seem like, oh, if I just have a week of eating whatever, then it won't affect me. But it's all about sort of the habit forming side of it. So I used to think, oh, if I just keep having like, you know, this and then this and then this and this, then it's, you know, it's only short term, it doesn't matter. But actually, the more that you sort of get into that habit, so for example, I got into the habit of ordering takeaways, I ended up doing it a lot, and I put 2 stone on over the course of the last few months of my university degree. So remembering that your health is a priority and getting that straight in your mind before you start actually planning anything else out. Remembering that food is important because it fuels your body, it fuels all the activities that you're doing throughout the day, and if you're doing that in a damaging way to your body, so either you're eating sort of very, very high fat food, maybe lots of sugar, that kind of thing, far more than you'd usually eat, you may find that that makes you feel tired, drained, and that's definitely not what you want when you're already feeling sort of overworked. Equally, if you're not eating hardly anything at all, then you've got no fuel, so it's not ideal. You need to sort of keep it in your mind that being healthy has always got to be a priority and that there are ways to do it, not stressing yourself out about it itself because that's just going to add to everything, but just having a really positive image in your mind of the healthiness and how important it is to be healthy, keeping that in your mind. I'm trying to do that today. I tweeted today actually and said, level of stress, forgetting to eat, because that's what I was feeling like today, and it actually started to make me think about what I was eating, and I went and made myself like a filling, nutritious lunch. So keeping it in your mind is the first step. So once you've got that in mind, the next thing is to plan your meals out in advance. It might take a little bit longer in the short term, so say in the morning or the evening before, it might take a little bit of time to figure out what you're going to do for the day, but what that means is that when it gets to the meal times, you know what you're doing, so you're not going to reach for the really high fat option or to just totally forget to eat at all. By the way, when I say high fat, I don't mean sort of good fats, I mean very much like your fast food and that kind of thing that, you know, is fine once in a while, don't get me wrong, I eat fast food once in a while for sure, but grabbing it as a habit each and every day can have sort of a knock-on effect on your health in the long run. So that's something that I really like to do. I like to know where I stand. So this morning before Tiz left for work, I said, right Tiz, we're having a big salad for dinner tonight. I've got the stuff in, I know what we're doing, I've planned this, we're good. We're not going to be getting a takeaway tonight, we're not going to be going out to eat, we're going to be eating this enormous salad. And that's a really sort of positive step. Okay, it took a little bit of planning, but now I don't have to think about it for the rest of the day. So that's always a really good plan. Then my final tip is very, very straightforward, and it's actually not only a good tip in terms of your diet and what you're eating, but also in terms of managing your workload and stress levels as well, and that is to make sure that when you're eating a meal or a snack, just take that time out to eat. It might feel so tempting to sit at your desk and work and eat and do it all, but that's mindless eating. You're doing it without really thinking about it, and that can have a knock-on effect as well. You could eat your lunch and be so busy that if you forget that you've actually eaten. It's a funny thing how your mind works about that kind of thing. I like to be as mindful as possible when eating, and also it gives you a break from your work, which you absolutely need to take to keep things in perspective, to keep calm, to keep level-headed, and I really do think it's important. I'm not amazing at this. I always eat while I'm working, but I'm trying to be better about that, and it's a really good habit to get into, to take breaks while you're eating snacks or meals. As always, I'd love to hear your tips as well, because you guys have some amazing advice, things I'd never thought of. So please do leave your tips in the comments below as well. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you next week. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.